Hey there everybody, I hope you're having a fantastic start to the day. I wanted to hop on Facebook real quick and do a little bit of end of summer check-in. Now this is the perfect time to reflect about how you've spent the last few months, how you really lived it up this summer as we get closer and closer to Labor Day weekend, which in New England marks the start of fall. I know it might not be the same everywhere in the country and in the world, but for those of us in New England, Labor Day marks the end of summer and the beginning of fall. And so I love and I really encourage everyone every 3 months to reflect back and to check in about how they spent their time. So right now I'm outside on my porch, living it up, enjoying the last of the summer heat, and taking a few minutes to reflect on how I spent my summer. And so I want to ask you a little bit about, how you showed up this summer in your own life. So what were your highs? What were your favorite days of summer? And what were you doing on those days? Who were you spending them with? What were you doing? How did you feel? Were you happy? Were you joyful? Were you at peace? Were you living it up? And just kind of figure out, why it was that those days were your favorite days and why you're experiencing those highs, and then figuring out ways to prioritize them as you move into fall and to really make that the focal point of the next few months as we head into September, October, and November. And then I want you to think about and reflect on, what were your lows? What were your challenges? And this doesn't have to be a negative experience. This can really be a time for you to check in and ask yourself, okay, what did I face? What did I have to work my way through, slog myself through? What were the low points of summer and why? What did I learn? How can I grow from those experiences? So checking in, it's great because it allows you to celebrate all that you've accomplished, all you've done, all the high moments, and it also is great to check in to see, what did you learn? What do you want to do differently? How do you want to show up differently? What do you want to prioritize moving forward? So that's why it's really important to reflect and to grow from that experience. And so I want to also ask you, what were some of your summer goals? What goals did you have leading into June and July and August? And how are you doing with those goals? What steps did you take and what steps can you celebrate? And where did you maybe fall off track and why? And really figure out, okay, how true is this goal for me? How important is it to me to accomplish it? First of all, if you fell off track, and why did you fall off track? Was it lack of organization and planning? Was it lack of motivation? Was it lack of accountability? But really checking in about your goals and where you stand on them. And if you have taken any step towards reaching any of your goals, celebrate, right? You got to celebrate all the baby steps, even if you haven't made it to the end result yet. And if you had made it to the end result, whatever your goals are, make sure you give yourself a pat on the back. We don't give ourselves enough credit, and we don't celebrate all of our small victories in life, and I think it's so important to do so. And like I said, if you are struggling to reach some of your goals, then it's check-in time, right? It's check-in time, it's clean slate this fall. Figure out what steps you want to take next moving forward. And lastly, I just want to ask you to check in about, I love summer traditions, so I want to ask you to reflect about your own summer traditions, maybe with your family, maybe with your friends, maybe traditions you started by yourself. And just ask you, how are those traditions this year? How did you show up? Why are they so important to you? What are you going to do moving forward with these traditions in your life? And so I always recommend taking a few moments to reflect, to reframe, to celebrate, to learn from our past as we start to move forward. And as summer starts to wind down, we enter a new start of fall. It's always a great time, season to season, every 3 months, to take a few moments to really practice the art of reflection, and then it helps motivate you moving forward. It helps you figure out what your goals and priorities are. And if you're struggling with this, if you need some help, if you want to talk it out, you know how to reach me. Just send me a message and we'll connect. But until then, enjoy the last official week of summer. Soak it all up: the heat, the sun, the beach, the friends, the barbecues. Reflect with your friends, reflect with your significant other, your family, and with yourself. And I look forward to touching base again here next week. So until then, bye.